That sucks.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Curdled cake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Alright, so I'll play some crazy Japanese music.
Woo!
It's called Anima, not enema, Anima. The tree, which means spirit or life of a tree. And it's very evocative of like just nature and stuff like that. So.
I first heard of living room music when my buddy, fellow percussionist John Brown, told me that he was trying to open up his house as a small venue, and I thought it was a pretty cool idea because, well, I mean, we all are involved in classical percussion all the time, but having it in this intimate environment sounded like a really cool idea. It was casual enough that people, felt like they could, acknowledge other people while pieces were being played. So it was not only were you connecting with the musicians, but the other audience members around you, and it was just very relaxed and enjoyable. It wasn't that classical environment that we're so familiar with.
John Brown told me about this idea he had to host a concert series in his living room, and immediately I was hooked. I thought it was a great idea, and sure enough, the first living room music, there we were. And I've been to almost all of them since September. Yeah.
We thought of it last summer. We were trying to come up with ideas of venues to perform at. Thinking, well, we have all this music that needs to be played and people want to play it. People want to hear it, but we don't know where to go to play it to allow people to hear it. So at the time we were living in this huge house with this massive living room, and I was saying how cool it would be if we could just host a concert right there in the living room. And then that's kind of how the thought of living room music spiraled onward.
Well, I first heard about living room music from John Brown. We had had a lot of discussions previous to it actually taking place where we were talking about potential new places to play. We wanted to go out and play shows somewhere that wasn't a recital hall or a rehearsal hall or anything like that. So he came up with the idea of just putting on a monthly concert in his living room, and I thought that was a really cool idea. And the first one, I was really surprised at how smoothly it went. There was a pretty good, turnout. There were a fair amount of people there. The reception was good. It was cool because there was a lot of different kinds of music being played. There was a jazz guitarist there that was super cool. There was a dude singing folk songs that he had written, which was awesome. We played a group that I was in, we played a John Cage piece, which was awesome, and there was just a ton of stuff going down, and like everyone seemed very receptive to how it was to what was happening, and everyone was really cool about it. So I thought it was right off the bat, I thought it was a special thing.
Yeah, so Living Room Music just started off as a place for us as friends to get together and play music. You know, they have places all over town where people go and play acoustic guitar and sing, and there's not really any place for that for contemporary music or classical music. Really, we can just sit and have a beer and talk and listen. So, figured why not start that in our own living room. The most fun part for me as a performer, I suppose as a performer and a listener, was being able to just be sitting and listening to music and having a beer, or being outside and smoking a cigarette, and then just walking right inside and playing a Nico Muhly trio, or even drinking a beer while I'm waiting for, like, sitting and counting rest and having a beer. So it's a lot different vibe, obviously, than wearing a tuxedo and sitting and playing a triangle in the orchestra.
As a performer, it's cool. Like, I grew up playing in a lot of rock bands in high school and stuff, and just like playing shows in people's basements and like different venues that are not surrounded with the classical environment. And living room music doesn't feel like a rock show, but it kind of shares a similar aesthetic in terms of playing, where there's not as much pressure on you as a performer. You can kind of let go and just let whatever happens, and it's a liberating feeling because you know that the audience is going to receive it well regardless. And so yeah, as a performer, it's really nice. It's a really chill environment. It's cool because people are walking around talking with each other. It's totally just like a parlor sort of a deal. It's really great.
The importance and significance of living room music. Well, I'd really say it's about forming a community, really. I know that sounds pretty cheesy and kind of corny, but I mean, really, to do what you're passionate about and you share it with people. That's what it's all about. There are many opportunities we get to play, but in a space like this, it's a lot more intimate. And I think it comes across to the audience more effectively in this space. What you're trying to convey and the storytelling you're doing with your instrument, your music. And it's just actually really beautiful.
I think the environment with people that are around you, because it's so close and you're just in the living room, and you're just happy to be listening to people play, I think it's more personal, and I think that you can share the experience more on a personal level with the other people around you.
Having it in a smaller space did make it feel a bit more intimate. I think it allows the people who are attending those types of events to just connect with everybody more, and it definitely is the route that people are going to be having to go down more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely important, if not the most important, in the musical world. It's just like there's no money involved. There's no commercialism involved. It's just people playing music for each other and enjoying music, and that's really what it's all about. So.